Alright, so I'm going to hit a little bit of 5-minute here. It's like Mr. After Dark. This guy's 2200 something. And it looks like we're going to play a Caro-Kann. I'm cool with that. Go with the typical advance. Knight F3, this is pretty standard. Bishop E2's pretty chill line. I think I'll just go with that. And I've been liking this Bishop E3 move lately. C3 is the other popular move there. And I kind of want to take the pawn on C5. Like, I don't kind of want to do it. I really want to take the pawn on C5, but he's going to have Queen C7. Let's just, you know what, I'm just going to go for it. I just can't help myself. You know, if somebody wants to give me the pawn, I'm going to have to see what's good. I'm going to have to take it. Queen C7, I'll just play Bishop B5. Queen A5, I'll play C3. Knight to E7 is kind of a worry, but, you know, I always had this Bishop B5 move similar to in the... I don't know, I guess in some lines of the Queen's Gambit accepted, it's like a little reverse. I mean, it's got to be Bishop B5 here, right? I mean, any other move is going to give the pawn back. And, you know, what would concern me, you know, if Knight E7 here, that would concern me. I mean, Knight E7, oh, he did that. Okay. But it's not really threatening anything. Right? I mean, what is he really threatening here? Nothing. So what if I just play C3? And if Knight G6 is something like Bishop D4, I'm going to keep the pawn. Or Queen D4, rather. Knight G6, Queen D4. Like, dude, broski, you cannot have the pawn back. Queen A4, Bishop A4, or Bishop takes C6 would be the moves. I don't really know if that's a very good move, to be honest. I'm not sure what this guy's up to. Mr. After Dark, it's kind of sketchy name. just saying. Yeah, A6, I don't know. You know, it really weakens its B6 square. It just doesn't really seem to do anything. You know, I'm not giving up on the pin. That's not going to happen. Now it's like, do I go B4 or Knight to D2? Knight D2, Knight G6, Bishop D4 is planned, and that's cool. Kind of want to play H4, but no, I know it's not good. What if everybody just relaxed? All right, B4, I mean, let's just make it clear that he's not going to get the pawn back. Now, this was a surprise, and he's going to play Bishop to G7. I should have played H4. Wow. Like, I didn't actually think that was the best move, but I think it was pretty good. What about Knight A3? This is nuts. Knight A3 is pretty cool. Bishop G7 is going to play B5. Yo, this is nuts. I mean, I don't know if this is going to work. B5 looks just too crazy, but if I can just weasel my knight to D6, I mean, this might just be crazy enough to work. This is a weird game. Looks like that A6 move did not help him out. I mean, this is just weird. But it looks... I mean... Knight takes... He's going to go Queen A5. Knight D6. Holler. What's up? And, okay. He's threatening the bishop. So I take C6. Yes. He can't take here, but I have Bishop D2. Knight takes C6, and player's choice, Knight takes B7 or Queen or Bishop D4. I mean, but he's got this G4 move. But does he really? I don't know. That deep G4, I'm not so convinced. And he kind of wimped out. And I'm a little bit disappointed in my boy here because I thought that he was going to be dicing it up with Knight takes. I don't think this was quite as good for homeboy here. I mean, I don't know. He could play knight g6, h4, g4, h5. Very interesting. What to do? What am I going to do against knight g6? Right, that's a really good question. Can't believe he did not play it. That is just crazy. Maybe I'll just play h3. It's not exactly a move I want to make. Okay, I'm just going to move. The bishop on d4 is such a nice big pawn there. What a horrible piece. I'm just going to keep moving. I mean, I was kind of thinking like, okay, if he plays knight g6 here, I could have played f4, but I can't. I don't know why I thought I could play f4. But it seems like he's interested in something else. I mean, I don't know. That was a weird move, h5. I'm just going to play f4. Keeping that pawn, son. Right. So I'd like to put my knight on d4. Let's see what he does. I mean, if pawn takes, I'll play knight takes, and that'll be really nice for me because I can attack on the f file. And if he doesn't take it, then I just play g3. The king side is fixed. I'm very happy about that. And then I can transfer my attention to the queen side. Maybe even play moves like c4. c4 is not a bad idea. I don't want to let his knight get into the game, though. That would be my big concern with playing a move like c4. Wow. I can't castle. But I can just play g3, right? I mean, I don't know what his angle is, but I got to start moving really fast. Like, this looks really chill for white. This looks really relaxed. I'm starting to enjoy this game more. I don't know what's going on. Is he really want to stack there? Like, are you nuts, dude? Queen takes d2, king g1. Bishop there, rook h2. It doesn't work. I don't think this works. I mean, what? Huh? This was crazy. I mean, the idea with the stack was pretty cool, but this was like a pretty chill defense. I mean, I don't see what's his next move. Bishop takes f4, doesn't work. Bishop e4, I actually can just take it with a knight. Seems like our buddy here's run out of tricks. Queen d3. What happens if queen d3? Maybe. What? He did that? Dude, come on. I'm going to take this, bring the queen back, and now I just got to make sure I don't get flagged. I'm up a rook. Okay. This was a pretty interesting game. Maybe a good example of how to take advantage of this. It seemed like his move order wasn't entirely accurate. And that's, where I started kind of get in where I could fit in. Now let's just do this. Let's see if he can play queen d3, right? He's going to continue milking me on that, and I'll just defend it. Just make sure I don't get flagged. That's about all I'm worried about. Yeah, okay. I don't know what this guy's up to. But I'm going to play f5 and try to mate him. e3 maybe? e6? Yeah, I'm definitely going to try to mate him. e6 is going to be putting some pressure on our boy here. I don't know what that did. We play for mate, baby! This like completely just lost a rook. But it's cool. Like it's cool. I guess. Like, dude, get off me, man. What is this? Alright. We'll go to the winning queen and pawn again. Okay, so it got a little bit messy at the end. But I think the game was pretty instructive, I guess. I don't know. It's pretty messy overall. I try to just snatch the pawn and stay in control. So let's see. Bishop e3. Sergei Caro-Kann, if you want to check this line out more, Sergei Caro-Kann plays this a lot. It's bishop e3. And the idea is that if pawn takes d4, you have knight takes d4. And it's this very dynamic opening. It's like you're trying to land a knight on d4 where it's going to be really strong. It's almost like you're not even worrying about the pawn on e5 as much. You're more focused on active development. And so here, I don't know. I mean, it's just kind of like, why not take the pawn? I mean, I didn't really see a forced way for him to win the pawn back. So that makes me think this was pretty cool. I think the normal move here is queen to b6. Queen to b6 is a normal move. And I've seen a few games where white plays knight to c3. Queen takes b2, queen to b1. I think Larry Christensen played a very nice game against Yasser Seirawan at the 2011 U.S. Championship with that line. Queen b6. Also, you can just play queen c1 and not mess with it. So there's queen b6, knight c3, queen takes b2, queen b1, or queen b6 and queen c1 here. And okay, so back to the game. Snatching the pawn, bishop b5. You lose a move, but I get to keep the pawn. c3 here certainly makes sense to solidify the position a little bit. And if knight g6, I've always got queen d4. a6 didn't really do anything. I think bishop a4, just keep the pin. And actually, as we saw after b4, I mean, this really got really interesting. It was a pretty cool game. After h6, I mean, the thing is, if I play h4, he has bishop to g4. All right, if h4 here, he has bishop g4, and it's not as cool. Like that's pretty unpleasant, actually, with that bishop there. b4 is a very thematic move, and I like it. g5, knight a3, I don't know. I mean, I just kind of felt like rolling with it. If g4 here, that would be probably his best move. It's g4. And I have b5, pawn takes, pawn takes. g4 is really just his move here. And after g4, I might actually have to give the pawn back. Say g4, knight d4, queen takes e5. But queen takes, well, yeah, I think I might be giving the pawn back there. Bishop g7 made sense, but after b5, these complications, I felt like after giving up the bishop, you can't be scared to go with the bishop if you're going to go try to snatch that pawn. I thought better here for him was knight takes c6. And now bishop d4, okay, it's a big pawn there on d4, but it's actually pretty chill. It's a very good place for the bishop. It's tying together white's three weaknesses, the pawns. Now h4, okay, this was pretty interesting. Knight g6 was definitely his best move here. And against knight g6, again, it looks like I'm going to have to give the pawn back. This h4 idea was incorrect. I mean, maybe I just play h3. h3 is probably better here. But h4, h5 by him was a mistake. He should play knight to g6. And after h5 and f4, okay, well here I'm doing very well, because if he plays en passant, takes the pawn, knight takes, and or even queen takes, probably even better is queen takes. And I'll try to put a lot of pressure on the f-file. Now with g3, and now it's just kind of consolidating the position. He played this rook a4 move. Maybe he just missed it, or maybe it was a conscious sacrifice. But really, I mean, black is busted here because he doesn't really have any way to get in. His queen looks active, but I'm going to kick it out really soon. One interesting sack was bishop takes f4, but after pawn takes, g3 check, king g1, black is running out of checks. So now, white is just winning, and maybe I didn't play it perfect here, a little long time, but I thought, I thought it was pretty patient enough. Defend everything, kick his queen out, and then open the position up and go after his king. And well, here I did make definitely a few mistakes, but the intention was good. I mean, okay, maybe here I just don't sack my queen, and for example, I'll just play queen to d3, and I'll actually win his bishop. Right, that would have been a much better move. Just queen to d3 here. I win his bishop. It's pinned to the queen. Easy win. Instead, e6, and I think I even sacked a rook here. Well, it didn't matter. I won on time. And that was the main idea. So this is Will Stewart from OnlineChessLessons.net, and thanks for tuning in.